What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Dense Pixels podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Brad, joined by my co-host, Micah.
Why do I look so short in my box?
That sounds like a personal problem.
Yep. Okay.
Terrence.
What's up?
There we go.
It's been a light week, which, you know, not upset about it, not mad about it. We're gonna start the show where we, like to do a little segment that I call "Sell Micah on a Video Game to Play," and that's because I've been playing the new cult simulator, Cult of the Lamb, which came out last week on many platforms. I've been playing it on the Nintendo Switch, and I'm about 12 hours in. I am
before you finish.
Yeah.
Point of privilege. Before you finish, I thought that I'm looking at the docket, and I thought that a new Animal Crossing expansion called Cult of the Lamb. I was like, wow, Animal Crossing has gotten way different from what I remember.
No, this is a separate video game, and I put in the docket that Cult of the Lamb is the Animal Crossing game that we've always deserved, because in many ways, it is. So like I said, I played 12 hours. I am about a little more than halfway through the main objective of the game. So the premise is you play as this lamb who was killed, sacrificed by these four, they're almost like eldritch gods of a sort. And when you're killed, you're actually in the afterlife, it's really more like the world between worlds, saved by this chained fallen god called the One Who Waits. And he's like, look, I'll save your life and resurrect you for the small bargain if you just have to start a cult in my name. And you're like, that sounds great. Like, let's fucking go. I don't want to die. So yeah, I'll totally do this cult. And so he brings you back. And you literally start a cult by recruiting other very cute-looking woodland followers. And the balance of the game is that management sim, so it's kind of like an Animal Crossing style management simulator, combined with a dungeon delving action game that I would put somewhere like a cross between The Binding of Isaac and Moonlighter, kind of in how the combat is. In the game. So basically you go to different area of these woods to, kill enemies and to, gather resources and to find items that can help you. It's very Binding of Isaac in that, like, your starting weapon that you get is kind of randomized, and the upgrades that you get are randomized as you go through these paths. And then you come back to your cult and you do the things that cult leaders do. You give sermons to your cult to build up their faith. You construct an effigy of yourself that they can pray at to get devotion, and devotion helps you get upgrades for the cult that lets you build new things. You can send them to work in your farm, in your fields, or in like your lumber yards or your stone mills or things of that nature. And you can give them gifts. You can even unlock upgrades that let you marry the cultists if you want to, and you can have more than one. You can have a polygamous cult if you so desire, if you get that particular upgrade. There's also a bunch of like rituals that you can unlock as you progress through the game as well. So like one ritual is you can literally sacrifice a member of your cult to the eldritch gods, which improves the faith of your cult, because they're like, this is great. They have the mega church ritual where you're just like, give me all your money because you love me so much, and that lowers their faith, but you get a shitload of gold coins for doing it. You can even there's all sorts of rituals. Like, you can feed your cult magic mushrooms that basically stones them out of their mind and locks their faith in place for 2 in-game days, so that you can do all sorts of like negative faith rituals with no penalty. You have to do, some chores. You have to cook for your cult. You have to clean up their poop after they're done eating. They'll shit on the ground, and you have to clean that up. But you can use that as fertilizer for your farms, so that you can grow, new plants and berries and pumpkins and things of that nature as well. Or you can build outhouses so they can just shit in there, and then you can just, collect the shit from the outhouse and deposit it into your fertilizer farm.
Is this like Stardew Valley?
It is like Stardew Valley if Stardew Valley was
If you were
built on a cult around cute animal characters. That's essentially what it is. Like, you can send your cults on missions, like you can build a missionary. When they die, you have the option to either bury them. You can do what I do right now, which is I have a composter built for my dead cultists that turns them into fertilizer so that I can use them to give back to the earth. Or you can consume their meat and feed your cult with their remains.
Cannibals?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And so the balance of the game is you're going is again the balance between managing your cult and then going out and doing what you have to do to kill these elder gods that you're set after. And the tricky part is there because when you go away on these missions, to go hunt and to fight these guys, you're usually away from your cult for like a day and a half. So like then you have to manage what happens when you get back. Like, are they starving? Are they mad at you because you were gone for too long and now the faith is low? And now one of your cultists is literally like running around the rest of the cult telling everyone how shitty you are. And so you have to re-educate them. Or you can do what I do and you can build a couple stockades in front of your church and then you can throw them in the stockades and that way they can't go anywhere and spread the bad word and you can re-educate them as they're sitting in the stockades so that they can become a normal, productive member of your cult once again.
So
we're learning a lot about you, Brad. That's what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck? Psychopath.
So what you're saying is you can pretty much just you can make any type of horrific art as long as it has like cute animals in
yes.
it. Like because if these weren't like lambs and they were actual like people, like The Sims, right?
Yes.
If this was The Sims but cult edition, like people would be flipping out.
They would be.
Because it's like, oh, it's lamb chops.
Lamb chops.
That it's all good to learn how to make a cult. And I'm looking at scores. Everyone loves it.
It's really fun. And Micah, you especially, because like I said, even though I know you're not a big management sim guy yourself, I really think that you would lean into the cult leader aspects of the entire thing.
I once jokingly said that I really need people to like me a lot. So I actually might check it out, man. It sounds fun.
It's pretty fun. It doesn't overstay its welcome. Apparently, like most people are beating the game in between like 18 and 20 hours. So because like the management sim side nor the combat side is deep enough to be like an endless game. So like it's not deep enough to be an Animal Crossing. It's not deep enough to be like a Hades where you can like replay the combat stuff endlessly. But it does a good job of sticking around enough, to make it really entertaining for those 20 hours. As far as the combat side goes, like so basically each run you get a melee weapon and you get they call them curses, but it's really just like a ranged spell that you can use. And that's random every time. So like there's like 5 or 6 different weapons that you can get, like daggers, swords, axes, hammers, that kind of thing. And the spells really vary, but they all kind of fall into the same sort of stuff that you would expect to find in games like this in terms of how they behave. But the weapons can also have extra properties. So you can unlock poison weapons, you can unlock vampiric weapons that heal you when you kill enemies. You can unlock different types of weapons that, like, you can unlock weapons that raise they call it frenzy, which is your magic essentially in the game. So you can, unlock weapons that give you extra frenzy when you kill enemies and things like that. The enemy variety is pretty good. There's a lot of different enemies in the different regions, even though the regions aren't really all that different from one another, or at least they don't appear that different from one another. Like I said, it's been really fun. I've been really enjoying it. It's been very entertaining. And again, they let you be a really shitty cult leader if you want to be, and they give you choices. So like every time you get enough devotion from your cult, you can basically give them a like a decree in your cult, essentially, which is like you're basically like issuing a commandment to your cult. And they come in different categorical themes, and usually the game gives you like a choice. Like your cult can either do this and you can get a bonus from this, or you can get a bonus from this. And usually the choices tend to be like, one, obviously like decent choice and then like one like evil choice. But also it's very funny. So stuff like that.
Well, I think you might have sold me.
Yeah.
I relish any opportunity to be evil in a video game.
I think you would enjoy it. And it's funny because like you can name your cultists. Like whenever you indoctrinate a new person to the cult, and that's the other thing, like as you go around in the wooded areas, you'll come across people that are held by other cults, and you quote unquote rescue them to your cult, which is really just like you're indoctrinating new followers into your cult. And you can name them, right? So like you can give them a name and change their appearance and stuff like that. And so
when you change their appearance, can you put big Q's on their head?
You cannot do that, unfortunately. That is not an option that I've seen so far in the game, at least. I learned very quickly, though, not to even really worry about naming them because, again, even my cultists are really just grist for my mill. Like they're just there to serve as a means to an end, to act as worker bees in my farm. And then when they outlive their usefulness, I will throw them into my compost heap so that they can can continue to serve me in the afterlife. And Micah, there's even an option. I didn't pick this option personally, but if you want to, you can even unlock a ritual that lets you resurrect your dead followers if you want to. So like if someone dies, like you can bring them back from the afterlife to serve you again.
Nah. Once you've I am in agreement with you. Once you outlive your usefulness, like you just gotta go get another one. You know what I mean? You can't get overly familiar with these people.
Well, the option that I picked once given the choice to do the resurrection part is I instead unlocked the ability to have funerals for my fallen cultists, and then when you have a funeral, like their gravesite generates more devotion, generates more currency that you can use to then get more upgrades and stuff like that. It's very fun.
This is look, this is adorable. I mean, it's disturbing, but it looks adorable. And I mean, that's the most important thing, right? Like,
yeah,
this is hilarious. See, I guess this is the way that we're gonna have to like have games like this. If this was what was that god awful game where it's just like you're a white dude in a trench coat with stringy black hair, and the whole point of the game is just for you to murder people. Like that game is horrific, right? Hatred. That game is.
Oh, Hatred! I thought you were talking about Prototype for a second.
Well, same difference.
That's what you said. What's that game where you're that white dude going around murdering everybody? I was like, which one? Like, that's a pretty broad, broad subgenre.
But like, if you take Hatred and just change the dude into like a potbelly pig or some shit, then apparently it's all good.
It is. Like I said, I just wish they would live longer because like my cultists only live till like they're 40, like, and that's not very long in this game. So they die super quickly. It's unfortunate. Unless they get ascended by me, in which case they will find themselves on a greater plane. Which is also
that's hilarious.
A possibility.
I might pick that up.
I do think you would enjoy it. I think you'd like it. Again, it's a good 20-hour game. Doesn't overstay its welcome. And it's just a good time. Just a good time. It's probably gonna end up in my top 5, I would imagine, this year. Wait, is that true? Wow. Am I talking out of my ass? Top 10. Let's say top 10 for Call of the War.
What is August? So half a year. What's left?
Well, that's the thing. I'm not like super stoked for anything that's left. I don't think this year.
What is coming out?
I don't know because everything keeps getting delayed.
God of War, Ragnarok.
Yeah. Okay, I'll enjoy that. Brad couldn't be bothered to finish this touching father-son adventure.
I'll tell you what I did do. I did go back and watch like the last 30 minutes of God of War 2018 on YouTube. Just so I wasn't completely lost.
Yeah, well, so you're not lost for when you don't play God of War
That's
Ragnarok.
right. Look, God of War Ragnarok will be free on PlayStation Plus one day. I have to assume.
Yeah.
And then
Don't
and
be
then,
like
and
Has
then
God of War ever been?
I still never beat it. Oh, God of War was free at some point. Yeah,
It was.
definitely
Oh,
was.
okay.
Yeah. And like I said, when it's free on PlayStation Plus, I can install it and I can boot it up and I can play the first 3 hours and then put it down and not come back to it.
Look, I would love for you to play it, but like the only thing that bothers me about that game is not the game's fault. It's the people who think that like Kratos, they're taking like fatherly advice from Kratos in this game. No, yo, no, this ain't it, yo. This ain't it. Kratos is not someone to aspire to be, particularly in the father figure route.
Kratos doesn't even know that he's not someone to aspire to be.
Right, like like I feel like if you play that game and are like, hey, Kratos is dad goals, you ain't paying attention, yo. Like, oh shit. Um, let's see. What are we doing here? Let's talk about Discord.
We're peddling wares. That's what we're peddling.
Yes, let's talk about Discord. Let's have all you fine folks go to densepixels.com/fans to get invited to our Discord. There, you can talk about any number of things. The English Premier League is back. I don't know if F1 has a season. I'm sure it does, right? Like they're not just racing all around all the time. We actually talk about video games in that Discord. If you have a stream that you want to pimp, we got a channel for that where you can post what you're playing and all that cool stuff. Some of us are wrestling fans. You can go and talk about all the wrestling and the fact that WWE is now like entertaining again. All that stuff can be done at densepixels.com/fans. Go to youtube.com/densepixels and subscribe, and hit that like button and hit the bell and all that stuff that other YouTubers tell you to do, because it really helps us out. And while you're subscribing, subscribe to TMP Studios podcast wherever you get your podcasts, including the Nerdpocalypse, Black on Black Cinema, Coming Distractions, and the weekly preview episode of Look Forward Political Podcast. Look, Terrence and I and Jay, and TR, we just did an episode of Black on Black Cinema yesterday, which is like no bullshit, like one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Really, really bad.
Which means it has to be one of the best episodes of Black on Black Cinema.
Yeah, I think it was pretty good, but the movie was so bad I didn't know if we were going to be able to pull it out because I was so annoyed. But
it was pretty fucking terrible. Like I enjoy bad movies, but this one was like bad, not fun. Like, it was offensive.
Yeah, and it kind of was offensive too.
We're professionals.
But we had a good time doing it, and you will have a good time listening to it. You will also have a good time listening to Look Forward. And if you want to have the best time listening to Look Forward, you go to densepixels.com/premium for $5 a month or $50 for the full year. You get access to all of the premium content, including back episodes of The Airing of Grievances, No Time to Bleed, The Man with the Golden Tongues, Upstage Conversation, and the full 2-hour and 14-minute episode.
God, did we record that long?
Yeah, you did.
You did.
You did.
We didn't start till like 9:45 either. So like we were going.
Yeah, that's par for the course with Jay.
Yeah,
I'll be on at 9.
Right.
45.
He did. In fairness, he did tell me 9:30 this week. So it was only. Oh,
so he was still late. Was still late. Yes. Got it. He was still late and didn't have to drive a goddamn place. Got it. That's fine. That's fine. Look, this episode, I was listening to it right before we hopped on. It's very good. It's as all of them are. I'll just read the headlines from the This Week in Stupid category. Dr. Oz really has no idea what a normal person in Pennsylvania is like. But then again, do any of us, right?
Here's like I said, we all got to learn this week what crudité is, which none of us.
Yeah, I saw that video a couple days ago. I posted it in the Discord, and I didn't know what the fuck it was either.
Yeah,
and I'm like, after I found out, I'm like, you can buy one for like $10.
Yeah,
a whole plate.
Yeah,
you don't need to put a whole bunch of shit in your
pizza meal together.
All right, fucking dickhead. But anyway,
MTG, the Miller Genuine Draft of Congresswomen, doesn't know how solar panels work, which is funny,
or windmills,
and or windmills. Well, I'd imagine she doesn't know how anything works. And Andrew Yang sucks.
So that
it was a very good episode, man. It was a very good episode. So yeah, duncepixels.com/premium.
I noticed that Micah skipped right by the Premier League talk, even though the Dense Pixels Derby had a little bit of everything this weekend.
I didn't get a chance to see it.
That's a shame because it was quite a fucking. Because like Chelsea dominated most of the match, honestly, and Tottenham's first goal came like there was a foul call that got missed by the referee about 40 seconds before Tottenham's first goal. So like when they scored, the two managers like got in each other's faces around like the referee. And then Tottenham later in the match in stoppage time, like literally in the 96th minute, scored an equalizer on a corner kick after a previous corner kick. One of our center backs literally pulled down one of Chelsea's players by their hair, and it was even reviewed, and the referee did not call a foul on it, which would have essentially ended the game for Chelsea. And so after the match, when the two managers were passing each other, the Spurs manager, Antonio Conte, was walking by Thomas Tuchel, who's the manager of Chelsea, and he shook his hand, but like didn't stop to like, he just didn't stop. He kept walking by him and shook his hand without looking at him. And Tuchel like held on to the handshake and like pulled him back over, like, and like turned him around. And then they started to get each other's face again. It was amazing. Fucking hilarious. I cannot wait to see the return fixture between these two later in the season. It's gonna be
I might see if I can. I don't know if Peacock archives those. I might see if I can watch it again. I was getting updates on
they do archive them, but they also have like a highlights video that you can watch that's probably like 10 minutes long. That'll show you the key moments of the match, and that'll probably be the one to check out. Right. Because like the first half of the game, like Chelsea just crushed, but they only scored one goal. So like that was the story of the first half, is that Chelsea dominated the game, but they can only get one goal, and then Tottenham was able to stay in the game in the second half. So, to get to more serious news, look, even the greatest companies that we hold in high regard are not immune from all the bad shit that's happening in the game industry right now. It's been reported that Nintendo of America game testers say that they faced years of sexual harassment working at Nintendo of America. Now, it is worth noting that some of the folks that, or I think everyone involved with this story, honestly, were all contracted by Nintendo. So they didn't work for Nintendo proper. But there's some really gross...
By a friend of ours.
Say again?
We were contracted by a company that we know.
Oh, really?
That we're aware of.
Okay. Micah. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Did you read the article?
No, I'm reading now.
Okay, you'll see.
Aerotech is the company that she works for. So.
I used to, in between jobs, I used Aerotech's services.
Oh, okay.
And I had a video everything.
And when they hooked me up with a job, they were like, "Hey, we'll pay you $500 to do a promotional video about how Aerotech has helped you." Right? I was like, "All right, $500, yeah, whatever. Where do I sign?" Right? Now, I didn't take it seriously, right? Like I didn't have a haircut or anything. So my hair was like unnaturally long.
Uh-huh.
But like when my hair is long, it doesn't grow quickly. Like I don't have like one of those I can't grow like one of those big beautiful afros, right? Like my hair when it gets long looks like one of the stormtroopers from Spaceballs, and it just it's just kind of packed in, but it's just real small. Anyway, they were like, come to this come to this place. You're in engineering, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm in engineering, but the job you got me for was like sales engineer, so I'm essentially a salesman. They're like, oh no, don't worry about it. Here, so you like look at like plans and stuff, right? I'm like, yeah, I look at plans, right? All right, so well here, take this and then just kind of pretend you're looking at it, right? And I'm like, all right, I'm looking at it, and you know what it was, Brad? Do you know what it was?
Was it a blank piece of paper?
No, quite the opposite. It was actually the Baltimore Orioles baseball schedule, and as a poster. And I'm looking at it, and when you see the video, you can kind of tell. You can see like the months of the year through the paper. So yeah, it was.
Is this video visible anywhere on the internet?
I just found
unfortunately.
Oh shit.
Yep, I just looked it up.
Well, Terrence, you at least have to share that in our personal chat. If you choose to share it in the Discord, that is your own prerogative, and I will not encourage you to do it one way or the other. So
it's fine. I did not care for that job that Aerotech got me, but Aerotech did do what they said they were going to do. They found me a job. So yeah. Anyway, sorry about that.
I mean, look, from lemons will come lemonade occasionally in these situations. To bring the mood all the way back down, though.
Right.
The stories that are relayed in this report, there was like a private Microsoft Teams chat that several employees had like a group chat going, and there was a male translator that was added to the group, and soon he was posting like screenshots from Reddit about like, here's why Vaporeon's the best Pokemon that you can have sex with, and
what the fuck is
and like when they were talking about Genshin Impact, he would post like gifs of child characters in the game saying that it's okay to be sexually attracted to these child characters.
Okay, I played Genshin Impact when it first came out on the PlayStation 4 for like a week. And the character that he's talking about is Paimon. And Paimon is a character that basically it teaches you how to play the game.
Yes.
It's a child.
Yeah.
With a child's voice that made me want to put fucking toothpicks in my ears to blow my eardrums out. So for them to want to have sex with that, they're pedophiles.
Yeah, quite simply.
And should be thrown in jail.
And this person who made these reports said that she took like screen caps of these conversations and rolled them up to her staffing firm, and they did nothing. And this guy, this translator, was an actual Nintendo employee. One of the quotes that she said that her department really felt like a frat house sometimes. So kind of a similar sort of complaints that we've heard from other industries before. Nintendo has not commented publicly on this yet. Apparently, Doug Bowser did circulate a internal memo to Nintendo of America saying that they were made aware of the situation, that they're looking into it themselves and investigating. So we'll see what, if anything, comes from that. But like I said, I think it's still a good story to kind of have out there to just make people understand, like, even the companies that you like a lot, this is a industry-wide endemic problem that the industry is trying to sort itself out with. And I just don't know how we're going to get there if the companies that are in charge of facilitating this aren't reacting and aren't moving when stuff like this comes to light.
Yeah, it's the higher ups. They grew, like, I don't know how old these people are now. How they're probably usually older white men. And honestly, as far as men goes, it doesn't even fucking matter what race it is. To be perfectly honest, it's just older men. They're just, I don't get it. We're getting better, quote unquote, as far as as far as the generations go. I honestly don't know if you're ever going to solve this issue, depending on how men are raised. To feel like they're better than women, or the jokes that they make, and even us. I mean, me personally, I still make off-color jokes, like amongst ourselves, but not no wild crazy shit. Like I want to fuck a child, kind of wild shit like that. But like it's unfortunately it's just the nature of the beast. Like it's fucked up, but they can't seem to keep it professional at work. Like if you're gonna say the shit, because they are
right,
keep it out of work.
That's my only thing at this point. Like at this point, like you can have whatever sexual deviancy, except for pedophilia and bestiality.
Yeah.
Like no, you can't do that shit. Even in private, you can't do that shit. That's fucked up, and you need to go to you need to go to jail like forever.
Right.
But like if you want to fuck Vaporeon or whatever. Like, you want to look at Vaporeon porn at home, yo, and don't tell other people. Like, you should be ashamed of that. You should really be ashamed of that.
Yeah,
like that look, don't kink shame. No, I'm a kink shame. Don't fuck a Vaporeon, guys. Also, by the way, screenshots about why Vaporeon was the best Pokemon to have sex with is so fucking Nintendo. Like I don't even like it. It just is right. Like because like Nintendo fans can't even be like regular creeps. They got to be Nintendo creeps. It just all right, yo.
Yeah. And again, like to your point, like I can't understand. Like I like there's certainly a part of me that is very guarded at work, that I would be very careful, not to let bleed into work, and maybe part of that reason is because I've had supervisory roles for a long time, so I really can't do that kind of stuff. But at the same time, like why would you want to? Like work has to be the fucking even keel place, man. Like these are people that you have to have daily relationships with. So why would you try to interject nonsense?
Like you don't realize that people don't want to hear that shit. Like, no one wants to hear about the Pokemon you want to fuck. Like that's weird.
Yeah.
What kind of
people
filter
don't
do you not have? That's fucking bizarre.
People don't want to be at work anyway.
Let alone hear about the fucking cartoon characters you want to have sex with, you fucking weirdo. Like no, man.
Speaking
like
of,
they have no self-awareness. Bizarre. I don't get it. Fucking gross.
Speaking of companies that encourage you to be the worst person possible, Cards Against Humanity is back in the news this week, and yet again, for I feel like the second time, I'm forced to give them plaudits and kudos for something that they did recently. So what they did is they put out an announcement on their website, and in reaction to the Dobbs case being overturned in the U.S. Supreme Court, which has that now led to abortion being either heavily restricted or outright banned in 22 states around the country, they said, quote, "Your state sucks," on top of the website. And they said, "Today, we're releasing some new packs for Cards Against Humanity, but while the packs were being printed, the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, and your state immediately turned itself into a dystopian, forced birth hellscape. So if you live in the following states, all of the profits from your purchases with Cards Against Humanity will go to supporting the National Network of Abortion Funds." And they go to list all of these states where abortion has been heavily restricted or outright banned in the United States of America. This is a pretty cool reaction, a pretty cool thing for Cards Against Humanity to do. I still very much dislike this game that creates a permission structure for you to be a really shitty person and hide behind the guise of, oh, it's only a game, everybody, but I'm going to say these terrible things and make shitty illusions. But hey, if people are still going to buy it, I'm glad that at least a lot of the money that's being put towards it right now is going towards a worthy cause.
God damn it. Like this is great, right? This is great. This is a win. And this is an L for me because Cards Against Humanity sucks, man. Like the game is so fucking whack. And I don't know if it's just whack because like the entire premise is whack, or if it's whack because the only time I've played it is with a bunch of 40-something black Christians. Like this is not the game to play with my wife's friends. They didn't know what bukkake was, and I had to explain it. But then while I was saying it, I was reading the room, and I'm like, I can't explain it too well, right?
You've told this story before. It's never not funny. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, you know what you could have done is just tell them to Google it. And just have them clutch their pearls as they did so. Like, I'm not fucking explaining this to you, you fucking prudes. But yes, I've never played it. It seems no.
It's not a game, yo. It's not a game. Like it's not a game.
Do you score points?
Technically,
you do score.
By having your card chosen by the person reading the clue, essentially. And there's no like firm structure in the game. Like it's like play to whatever score you want to, and basically you play it until people want to stop playing. But it's about the quote unquote the experience of playing Cards Against Humanity. Like that's the whole point of the game. I'm trying to figure out how I would explain what bukkake is to a room full of prudish Christians. Like I'd be like
it's pretty simple.
Like how but I would try to relate it to their terms. Like how like Adam's seed was spread to all of the Christians in the world. Well, imagine Adam's seed being spread, but just all over your face. Like that's essentially what it is.
So imagine if Adam cloned himself several times.
That's right. Many Adams spreading their seed all over your face.
And just relieve themselves of their seed upon her face.
Well, you know how like when we were kids and your parents used to say that like when it rains, that means it's God crying. Well, what? Well, imagine if the rain was warm snow and then God wasn't crying.
Oh my God.
I was crying through his dick. That's what it is.
So, like, God's Tears would be a really good episode title, but I'm really struggling to come up with what an appropriate image would be for such a thing. That's the tricky part. Also exciting is I'm trying to see how Micah is going to spin this topic into our next ad read.
Go to densepixels.com/Amazon for all of your Amazon purchases. When you go to densepixels.com/Amazon, you can shop at Amazon like you normally do at no additional cost to you. And we get a cut of the proceeds. So it's like a finder's fee. So let's just type in Amazon. Let's go to densepixels.com/Amazon and type in bukkake and see what we have here. You can, I don't know if I want to say this one. You can go to densepixels.com/Amazon and get yourself a notebook. A notebook called Daddy's Little Cum Slut Princess Cum Slut Bukkake Gift 6-inch by 9-inch notebook for $6.49. Now, that's a little low. I wouldn't necessarily get something that low, but like if you want to, that's fine. You can get everyone loves novelty shirts. Everyone loves novelty shirts. You can go to densepixels.com/Amazon and get yourself a shirt that says Bukake. It's all fun and games until someone loses an eye.
That's pretty. You know what? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I do admit.
Which is really funny if you had listened to the preview episode for the latest episode for Black Ops. All right, I can't look at this because now I just realized that like I clicked on one of these things now it's gonna show up in my picked up where you left off.
Now it's in the algorithm.
and I share an account with my wife.
Of course.
So
you'll have to make her listen to this episode just so she understands the context that this was performed in. Oh my gosh.
Shit. God damn it.
Fantastic.
It's for the art. It's for the art. Oh my god, this is insane.
Oh my god. Speaking of getting blasted in the face, EA. Apparently, guys, we had it all wrong all along when it comes to loot boxes. We actually love loot boxes, according to Electronic Arts. So this is coming off of the back of, so in England, they brought it before Parliament to determine if things like FIFA Ultimate Team packs and other loot boxes were considered gambling in the eyes of the law over there. And England basically punted on it. They basically said, it's got all the, all the earmarks of gambling, and it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck. But we're not going to consider it gambling. Therefore, it's not going to be regulated by the same laws that gambling stuff would be in our country. And so EA took it upon themselves to walk with their chest out about how awesome they are, and talk about how really loot boxes are a beloved part of the FIFA game franchise. Quote, "We wholeheartedly believe that Ultimate Team and FUT packs, which have been part of the game for more than a decade, are part of FIFA that players love. Fans love that the game reflects the real-world excitement and strategy of building and managing a squad. Giving players the choice to spend, if they want to, is fair."
So, see, what you don't understand is, yes, it walks like a duck. Yes, it quacks like a duck. It's actually a mallard. There's the difference. This is ridiculous, yo. Like I hate corporate speak, yo. I hate corporate speak and corporate spin. Like I like it when it's really good, but it's never really good. You know what I mean? Like, well, no. They actually, like getting shot in the face. Like, what? No, this sucks, man.
Yeah. And again, it's just because governments are not willing to make the hard decisions on this stuff. I think Belgium and at least one other country, might be Germany, might be Holland, I can't remember which, but 2 countries did crack down on it. And I don't believe that loot boxes can be a part of the game in those countries, at least in the same way that they're constituted, the way the rest of us have to deal with them, essentially. But it is it's one thing to kind of skate by with this legal ruling. It's another thing to have the chutzpah to fucking come out and be like, no, actually, people love this shit, and that's why the government ruled in our favor.
No, that's players the choice to spend if they want to is fair. So when you purchase a pack,
mm-hmm.
How does that? It's just got a bunch of players in it.
Yes,
that have better stats.
Maybe. So that's the thing is it's
possibility.
Yeah. So the one thing they have done, since more scrutiny has been heaped upon them, is they do at least tell you the odds of what you're going to get in the pack. So like if you go into FIFA. But that just goes to illustrate like how shitty the practice actually is. Because let's take a premium gold pack, for example, in FIFA Ultimate Team, which has 24 cards in it, and only 12 of those usually are going to be players. The rest of it are going to be other consumable items that your squad needs, like contracts and injury recovery things and stuff like that.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
Do you get that without packs?
No, you have to get them in packs.
How is this a sports game?
Because you can earn the packs, so you can earn the packs in-game, like by playing as well. Like there's obviously, much like any game that has loot boxes, there's two currencies. There's the in-game currency, which you obviously earn at a much slower rate, and then there's the real money currency that you can buy with your real money bucks. And so when you open a premium gold pack, like I said, only 12 of the cards in the pack are going to be players. And they tell you like the ratings of the players that you're going to get. So like you're guaranteed to get players that are over 75 rated, because that's the minimum rating for a gold player in FIFA Ultimate Team. And then it's like you've got like a 30% chance to get a player rated 80 to 82. And then it's like, and you have like a 1% chance to get an 85 plus rated player. And you're really buying the pack to get the 85 plus rated player. Like that's really what you're gunning for when you buy these packs. And then not only, do you have a 1% chance of getting an 85 plus rated player, you don't even know who that player is going to be, because there's, 100 to 150 85 plus rated players in the game. And so it might not be the very one that you need. Now, if you get one that you don't need, and it's a good player that's fetching a decent amount of money, like they have an auction house that you can sell the card on to get the in-game currency, so that you can try to find that other player in the auction house as well. That's how I get most of my top-rated players. I usually buy them from other players with the in-game currency that you can earn, because buying packs is a fucking sucker's game, because it's a slot machine pool. It's a gotcha, essentially. Like it's just a gotcha game at the end of the day.
So it sucks, but it's so insidious, because like they're preying on people like people who love football, love it, love it. And we don't care about it in this country as much, but like the rest of the world adores it.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant. Like it's so brilliant. Like I can't be mad at it, but at the same time, like, yo, it feels icky, man. It feels icky to be taking advantage of people like this. And then for them to just be like, well, technically, like, yo, technically, yo, like, come on. Yo.
Well, and again, like they have stats for days that, because they'll come out here and be like, well, like 99% of the packs were bought with in-game currency and not with paid currency and stuff like that. But again, they're not trying to get the guy that's going to spend, $20 here, $20 there. Like they're trying to, they're whale hunting. Like they're trying to get the guy that's going to spend, $100 to $150 a week on
you get the YouTuber that's just buying packs.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing too, is like those YouTubers, like the actual popular ones, they get the game, a week early. FIFA, like EA gifts them, fucking 50,000 FIFA points, which is the paid currency or whatever, so that they can do pack opening videos, because they know that those videos act as free marketing. And, when they see their favorite YouTuber opening 100 packs, and then they see, he gets that one card that's like, whoa, like it's like the team of the week, Ronaldo that I've been looking for, and that kind of thing, that's like super high rated. Like, they know that the other people who are much more susceptible to that kind of stuff, especially
that's geared towards
kids, especially teenagers, are going to then be like, ooh, like if I spend, $20 or $50 or whatever, like I can also get the Ronaldo. Like I can open that as well. So
that's fucking fast.
It is very shitty. It is incredibly shitty. The fact that they put the odds in front of you, again, it's nice that that's transparent, so that you can see like how badly your chances are of getting fucked are going to be. But it just goes to underscore like how shitty the situation is with that kind of stuff. And again,
they won. They gave you the odds of what you were going to get,
and
you bought the.
And it's interesting too, because FIFA is unlike Genshin Impact and other games and other gacha games in this way, because you have that auction house that's in the game. And so they make sure that there is, like, for the top cards, to make sure that they retain their value in trading back and forth between players in the game and the auction house. They maintain their scarcity. They make sure that there's only so many copies of those cards that are out in circulation, because that way that they can keep their value high. Because the way that prices go down in the FIFA auction house, much like real life, is if there's an abundance of supply, then prices will go down because demand lowers. And so, like, all the special edition cards, and again, they do, like FIFA does, team of the week players every week, where they, give a player's card a bump in stats based on a good game they had in real life the week before. And they do, like, team of the season cards, and they do, like, future stars cards, and they put out all these special editions of the player cards that have bumped up stats that are even more desirable, that have even less odds of finding their way into your hands. But again, when you're watching those YouTubers, when you're watching those streamers, open 50, 100, 200 packs in a session and streaming it, and of course they're going to get it, because when you're opening that many packs, like, the odds are going to fall in your favor eventually. And I'm sure that there's, triggers in the game as well that say, oh, if you open a certain number of packs, then they give you, something good, at some point, because they want to keep you coming back to the slot machine, essentially. That's it just fuels it. It just fuels it. And again, there's a reason it's $1.5 billion a year industry. FIFA, one game by itself, is bringing in that kind of revenue.
The house always wins.
It's true.
Like, they can give you whatever the fuck you want, but, like, in the end, the house always wins.
It's true.
It's literally gambling.
And again, the greatest trick they get to play is the fact that we're still gonna fucking play it, because we fucking love soccer, and FIFA's really fun. So it's how they get you. It's how they get you. Not to sound too old man, but that is how they get you. The way that you can get us is by going to densepixels.com/fans and putting questions into the post office. It's a light post office week this week. We didn't really solicit questions, but that's okay, because we still got a couple. Actually, we got two. So we'll start with Daniel, who says, what is your favorite dinosaur?
Dilophosaurus.
Interesting.
You know which one that is?
Is it only because of the scene in Jurassic Park?
Yeah, it's the jazz hands. It's the jazz hands dinosaur. It's the jazz hands. Yeah. Like, that thing scared the shit out of Newman.
It did.
The one with the fucking gills?
Yeah, that could spit, like, tar at you and shit like that. Yeah.
Okay. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Because it's different.
I don't know if I had a favorite dinosaur.
I also don't. So like, I was not a dinosaur kid.
Dinosaur guy, yeah.
I was not a dinosaur kid. Like I was. I felt alone amongst my peers in the fact that I was never big into dinosaurs when I was a kid. And I even read
T-Rex. I don't care. I just didn't give a fuck.
and I even read Jurassic Park, I think, for the first time when I was in 4th grade. I think I want to say. It was shortly after the movie came out. So
you read Jurassic Park?
Yeah, absolutely.
Huh. Did you read? Was there a novel for the sequel?
Yes, there was. The novel for the sequel much better than the movie for the sequel, because they're very different.
Oh man, they didn't have Ian Malcolm have a black daughter for no reason doing gymnastics.
I don't recall. I don't recall him. Was he? It's been a while since I read Lost World. Was he even the central character in the book? I don't remember, honestly. It's been a long time. Like, I haven't read those books since I was a kid. So
he probably wasn't, because you could tell, like, the first movie was probably adapted from something that, like, took its time to, like, be created and, like, thought about, and then literally 5 other movies are just like schlock, are just like written by a child. Like, it's nah.
If you've not read Jurassic Park and you enjoyed the movie, I would recommend the book. The book is pretty good. So it's a bit better than the movie. So, and plus the fun part is that since you've seen the movie, you can, like, when the characters speak in the book, like, you just hear their voices. And it's
I
fun.
do that. I do that all
Yeah.
the time. Like I give like when I'm reading something, I give them certain like this person is like being described. I have one book called like The Electric Church, and this one character kind of was he in my head he sounded like Jason Statham for some strange reason. And now I'm just reading that in Jason Statham's voice because I can't, like, that's the only way I can read.
If I may be so bold, since we're on the subject of books, I just finished the Gentleman Bastards trilogy by Scott Lynch. The first book being the Lies of the Lies of Loch Lamora is the first book. Really good trilogy. Highly recommend. Here's the premise I'll give to you. Imagine Ocean's 11 in Victorian England.
Yeah, you lost me.
Oh, I lost it.
11. You lost me at Victorian.
Well, so
England.
to be clear, it's not actually England. Like it's a fantasy realm, but I got Victorian vibes from it.
Nope. If you just said almost anything other than like Victorian era, I don't like Victorian era stuff, and I don't like post nuclear stuff.
You're not a steampunk guy, huh?
Oh no, I'm not a steampunk guy. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. And like it's like you want to be like you want future shit, but like you're scared to pull the trigger. Like nah. That's why I couldn't get with those what were those games where you had like whale blub? Yeah, I couldn't get with them, man. I couldn't get with it. Like that like if they're afraid of the plague. Like, nah, yo, this ain't for me.
Well, boo on you, Micah. Boo on you. Because for those of you out there that can jive with like a Victorian theme, highly recommend if you've never read them to check them out. Check them out. So the second book's like that, but it's a pirate book, and then the third book is a political book. Weirdly enough, so. But all with them doing crazy, like, intricate plots. So, the other question that we got is Brendan asking, what is the inverse of mansplaining? Now, Carrie had a great answer in the thread where she said the inverse of mansplaining is shutting up. Now, I would say not to mansplain to Carrie, but that's more the opposite of mansplaining.
Yeah, that's the opposite. The inverse. Carrie, let me tell you the difference between opposite and inverse would be like wobfuscation or something like that, right? like woman and obfuscate, right? Like a woman making something more complicated would be the inverse of man explaining. You see. You'll get it.
Johnny said clucking is the answer to that, which seems wildly offensive. I gotta say.
Oh shit!
Wouldn't Karening be like the inverse of mansplaining essentially?
Well, see, but it's got to be a portmanteau, right?
True.
Like it's got to be a portmanteau of woman and the opposite of explain, like confusion. But like if you say woman confusion, you're saying it twice. Am I right, guys? That's a joke for all of you first-time listeners. I like my job. I don't need to be canceled. I don't want to have to go back to Aerotech with my
Well, I can show you a video that might change your mind. So,
shit! I don't know. God damn!
Oh my gosh!
Oh shit!
Two good questions. I appreciated the good questions in there this week. So again, go to densepixels.com/fans to drop your questions into the post office. We answer them every week on the show. You can also subscribe to the show as well as all the other TNP studio shows wherever you download fine podcasts. If you're more of the video type and I am, so I understand. If you go to youtube.com/densepixels, you can subscribe to us there. And as Micah said, ring the bell icon and hit the like button and all that jazz that they say on the YouTubes. And of course, you can follow us on Twitch as well. Twitch.tv/densepixels. You can also follow our individual accounts. I am densepixels Brad, Terrence is Apparition410, and Carrie is Subbits Carrie. And that is the show for this week. Cult of the Lamb's good. Go start your crazy animal cult and enjoy. I eagerly await Micah's report back on this.
Excellent.
Fantastic. Well, thank you guys very much for watching and listening, and we'll see you all the next time. You're watching the Dense Pixels YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button while you're here, and make sure you check out our weekly podcast where we discuss the latest gaming news and our impressions on what games we've been playing.